Play Moon or Dust live and win big. For your community or for yourself. Just don't dust. Tuesday, audience edition. Wednesday, primetime. Thursday, microcap. Think you can take on the whales and walk away with a fat bag? Be our guest. For free. Moon or Dust, the most bullish game show in crypto. Visit moon-or-dust.fun for details.
What's going on, everyone? I am DeFi Sean. That guy right there is Mr. Pixels, and we are back for another episode of Moon Monday. And all I can say is welcome back, Infineon. It had a heck of a weekend. You know, I was hanging out with the family, busy with them, but was definitely seeing everything going on with Infineon. People are definitely getting excited about it, and they should. You know, it's the patriarch or whatever you want to call it of this entire ecosystem that we're building. So really cool to see a lot of signs of life. Also, hit that like button, subscribe button, repost button, share button, whatever button you have to hit. We're on X, we're on YouTube, we're on lunarpump.fun, we're on Twitch. So a whole bunch of different places where people can go ahead and check out what exactly we're talking about. Because this is going to be the last week when I thought that we couldn't get busier, we're going to get even busier. So not only are we doing Moon Monday and Infineon Friday, which are super laid back, we kind of just hang out. Tuesday's the audience edition of Moon Monday, of Moon or Dust. Primetime Wednesday of Moon or Dust. Thursday's microcap of Moon or Dust. And now on top of that, we are going to be throwing in 5 days a week of streaming for Moon or Dust trending. So basically, with our trending bot, which is completely live, we've been testing it all weekend. If you're in the chat for Moon or Dust or Infineon, you've seen it. Infineon, to my surprise, is crushing everybody. Now, the community theoretically is a lot busier. I guess with all the excitement, everyone's coming back. I mean, it's significantly above Moon or Dust, which is in second. We actually have some other projects that have downloaded, just, you know, projects that are friends of ours and different things, just to kind of get some testing going. Everything's looking good on it. We pretty much have the MVP product where we want it. We have a global leaderboard. We have your current leaderboard. We have it clickable so you can get to all the telegrams that you need to go to. We have the option to where you can pay for multipliers, to where you can pay to be in the top 5. And essentially, for most episodes starting next week, the top 5 projects are going to get talked about. Obviously, our views have been huge. Over the 12 episodes, we've surpassed 50,000 views, not each, not per episode, to clarify that, but combined, which is still huge. So getting on the Moon or Dust trending show, downloading that trending bot, getting those multipliers to fight to be in the top 5, or even paying possibly to be top 1 through 5 will be your ticket to getting talked about live on air, on X, on Twitch, and on YouTube. So yeah, we'll kind of go over that. But yeah, Mr. Pixel, how you feeling? Infineon had a heck of a weekend. I turned it as much as I possibly could. And yeah, it all looks good. So yeah, how you feeling?
Yeah, I think I think since that announcement, it made a big difference. People realizing that the VCs, I know people had mentioned in the chat a few times, they were waiting for that to finish. So when it did, there was definitely a visible pump there, atmosphere pumped a little bit. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's great. I mean, that's where it all began. End of the day, Lunar Pump came after that, and then after that came Moon or Dust. But it all feeds back into the same ecosystem no matter what way you splice it into the day. So but yeah, feeling super positive, excited about the bot and all that, going live now, which of course, again, the idea of all of this, bot brings people to Moon or Dust brings people to Lunar Pump brings people to Infineon. But that's the way this space is, I guess. You just kind of got it. You got to play the game. That is the game, and trends come and go. Things get hot, they cool off, they get hot again, and you just got to kind of, roll with the punches and do what you can do. But I mean, all in all, super happy. Another good weekend down, lots of stuff done, lots of progress made, full week in the books. We got some new numbers. I'll bring those up in a little bit too. As far as we got our full, 3 weeks numbers as well, so more exponential growth on that front, so that's awesome. But yeah, loads of good news. I think you're going to break down the bot here, Sean, is that right? We're going to have a peek at the bot here, show people how that all works.
Yeah,
I've been working on multiple decks in the background here as well. Obviously now that things have changed, the bot is in, There's a lot of other editions coming, so I've just been kind of dialing that in. So I'll give a quick run through that in a little bit too. Yeah, as we get this show rolling. But yeah, the bot, Sean, let's check it out for everybody. And anybody's got any questions about this, just let us know in any of the chats that you are currently in. I'm hoping that you're over watching us on Lunar Pump.
Yep, as you can see, mod number 1 on the leaderboard ahead of Pepe and Doge. So really good to see.
Very important. But
And
anybody
hey,
that is watching, hey, head on over to Lunar Pump. You can connect your wallet, get your account going. We'll talk about it a little later. But if you are watching over there, it might be worth your while. You never know what could happen.
Hey, this is a future look at CoinMarketCap's listing of when you click meme tokens. Mod, Pepe, Doge, or maybe Mod, Doge, Pepe. Who knows? But maybe this is the future right here. But yeah, guys, so this is the global leaderboard. As you can see, Infineon, they are at 69 for the last 24 hours. Shoot, they at one point was at like 160 something, 170 something. Moon or Dust, obviously, these are the two places we started testing. They're obviously ours, so those are going to be in the lead. We have Tag, good friends of the project, 20, Wudang, 14, WT4, 14, Fire Chicken. Major Business. This is another one. Not even sure who that is. So yeah.
Shout out to the Fire Chicken fam.
There's our boy right here.
Chuck. What's up, Chuck?
So yeah, Major Business, whoever that is, they just downloaded the bot. So good to see them in there. Yeah, go check out Fire Chicken. Yeah, huge shout out to Chuck. Always a huge help. Then we also had WT4. And yeah, we're going to, on the streaming ones, top fives, we're going to bring up their websites. We're going to bring up their Twitters. We're going to talk about them, get them some hopefully some good exposure going on so that we can, learn everything about them. So you want to be in that top 5. Now, we won't make it a topic of conversation really with Moon or Dust or Infineon to harp every single episode, because theoretically this is ours. So Infineon and Moon or Dust should stay towards the top, I think. Time will tell, obviously. So, we're not going to harp every episode. People, especially if people are paying to get up here and to pay for the multipliers, we don't want to make the whole episode about us. I mean, it's called Moon or Dust Trending. So, we don't need to be spending 20 minutes talking about Moon or Dust. And then we have the Soul Leaderboard. We have the BNB. So there's only one BNB, that's WT4. And then all the rest seem to be on Soul right now. As we said, you go ahead and boost your token. Let's go ahead and get a contract address. Now, depending, that should pop up automatically right here, but I think it's a setting that I have. Okay. Yeah, that one must not be. It's because I had the Soul. Bear with me.
You got this, Sean.
Yeah, it was the this is what it'll look like whenever we're doing the trending, because we're researching as we go. It's just a matter of searching around for everything. But yeah, I grabbed Infineon's ETH contract instead of Soul contract. So yeah, multiple different things you can do. You can do the click multiplier, which will give you 1.2x. So every time you click it, you'll have that 1.2 multiplier, 1.5 or 2, and then you have that pricing right here that's per hour. So yeah, it's really cool to see that. And then I'm not the best person when it comes to working these bots, to be honest. We need to boost your token. Let's do this again, because I want to show this. Top 5, top 3, top 1. This will pretty much guarantee that you get talked about on the episode if you go ahead and do one of these. It's what happens when you fall into a habit of letting other people do. Mike usually handles all the bots, so I'm working through getting all these bots and
getting used to
getting fluid with it. It's usually Mike that handles all this. But yeah. And as we're going to talk about this all week, and then next week we're going to start. I haven't started passing it around to all my contacts yet to get it in their runs. We wanted to kind of make sure it was right over the weekend. Since we launched it Friday or Saturday, whenever it was, there's been quite a few things that we've actually already done that we had to get done. We had to fix the leaderboard. We wanted to make everything clickable. We wanted to add it to the boost section to where you can boost it real easy. We're also going to soon add a marketing section to where you can get all kinds of different marketing services from us, make it super easy. We're also going to be able to allow you to pay in BNB and ETH is currently in Sol. But when it comes to revenue for the ecosystem, I think it starts with Moon or Dust. Trending is the top fastest thing to start really producing revenue, followed by, I think, the ad spots on Moon or Dust. Like I said, it's a little bit different selling ad spots rather than dedicated videos. It's just, it's kind of how the space is and what people are used to. And then Lunar Pump Fun. And then, of course, Infineon is going to be the ultimate thing that we're trying to drive engagement to and usage to. It's just going to, unfortunately, be the very hardest. So we're starting here with the trending, and we really need to, get some revenue. As the revenue starts coming in, it'll help out Infineon. It'll help out Moon or Dust. It'll help us get, the CG, CoinMarketCap. As we went over, CoinMarketCap, pay to play. We get the 5K, I can have us listed probably within 24 hours. CoinGecko is a little bit different. You have to have some volume. You have to have LP. It changes. I want to say last time I got a project listed, it was 50 Sol in the LP that had to be in there. Now 50 Sol. So a lot of times you'll look at it and the LP is a combination of your token and Solana. Well, it has to be 50 Sol of actually Solana, not combined. So it's, there's certain different stipulations. Now, you still do have to pay. It's cheaper than CoinMarketCap. I want to say it was 1.8K last time I did it. So it's cheaper, but on the other side, you have to have the requirements to get on there. And then, we grow from there.
Yeah, man, it's looking good. And of course, there's certain things with it that we're going to be doing, but it takes it being in multiple communities. It needs to be in a lot of telegrams. The idea behind this obviously is we're going to be doing the trending show, but for the actual main shows themselves of Moon or Dust, the primetime edition, the microcap edition, the audience edition, which we're going to tighten up now as well. But all of those, in order to select contestants for those, the trending bot will be very beneficial for that reason, because it taps into the exact metric that we're looking for, which is live active communities that will bring the viewership, up those numbers, bring the hype, all those kinds of things. So the whole idea is that the bot will be able to do that and tap into that. So the higher the votes, so the idea is that you hit if you hit 100 votes, you would be put into the microcap wheel, right? So every project that hits over 100, so we're starting with 100. Obviously these numbers are open to change, but you'd start with that. Any project that hits that number or over that threshold in within the week would be put in that wheel, which would be spun every Friday then, and it would determine who was going to be in the microcap edition the following week. If you get over 200, you would then obviously come out of that wheel and you would go into the primetime edition wheel, and then that would also be spun Friday. And we're looking at a way as well to do it for individuals. So the initial thought is that if you vote, 5 days out of the 7 days, the potential 7 votes you can have in the week, because obviously, your vote only lasts for 24 hours. So you have the potential to vote 7 times. So if you voted let's say 5 times out of the 7 in the week, you would be put into an individual wheel. And that means that you would be eligible. You'd be, that wheel would be spun as well Friday. And then it would be, whoever comes out on top there would play, let's say, the first game of the audience participation round on Tuesdays. So that is something that we're thinking about. And then the second contestant for the audience edition of the second game would be chosen directly from the Lunar Pump chat. So this is something that we're working on doing. But like we said, obviously we need adoption. People need to have the bot in there in order for that to kind of work out. We need more people using it. So we're thinking once we get to maybe, at the moment, 20, 30 projects on there, we'll start to kind of roll that out. In the meantime, you can just go to the website to sign up. I'll bring it up here real quick. Right here. You can go to the website, and there is about to be an update pushed here on the website very soon that's going to have the bot and everything on there once we iron out the final few details. But you can go up here and click Become a Contestant, and just pop in your name, details, your website, your X account username, Telegram, contract address, market cap, participant details, then the person that would be representing the project, their name, their X-handle, their project affiliation. Why should your project be selected, and where did you hear about us? So when you do submit that, you'll get a one-time use code that you will just immediately send a DM via X to our main Moon or Dust account from the main project account that you're going to be representing, so we can confirm we're dealing with the actual legitimate people. If that doesn't come in, your submission will not be processed at all. So you got to make sure you do that. And this is something that we've been talking about too. So I'm going to bring it up here as well, Sean. That the thing we've been talking about, and I know it's kind of difficult in crypto, but this is the reality that we have to kind of face here, is that we need for the main shows, audience edition, okay, whatever, we can take it or leave it. If you'd want to come on, great. If not, but for prime time and for the microcap edition, we need people to be on camera for those, in my opinion. And the reason is because that's what gives us the entertainment value. Like, if so, the entertainment behind it is seeing someone, how they're handling the pressure, seeing what they're doing, their live reactions. Like, there's a massive niche of people just reacting to things. There's a reason that is. And if we run this game show and people don't come on the camera, it drops the entertainment value, like literally falls off a cliff when you're just looking at a PFP instead of an actual person participating. And so far, I think we've actually had more people on camera than we haven't. But the reality is, like, that's the entertainment business. If we're going to entertain people need to be able to see real life people on camera, real live reactions, in my opinion. And I don't think anyone out there would disagree with what I'm saying. And please, if you have something to add or a counter argument, please let me know. I mean, I do understand it's the crypto space, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, people are everyone's shouting for mass adoption this, mass adoption that. Look, this is what mass adoption looks like. People have no problem going on camera. They're not like, if they were on a regular game show, they'd have no problem going on. Why? Because it's crypto that you don't. There's a reason, right? There's some reason. And there's lots of people in crypto that do go on camera, do dox themselves. So also, when you want to maintain the credibility of the show, you also have the issue of, it's a difficult position for us as like the creators and, even Sean hosting and whatever else, because if you bring on a project and they're not willing to go on camera, and, it turns out that project ended up like rug pulling a bunch of people or taking a load of money, we would have platformed them. So it's also a safety mechanism, not just like for us, but also for the community that's watching. So if they come on the show and people, we always say do your own research, of course, always, but sometimes people don't, they ape in. But things like that, you don't want to get a reputation for platforming shady developers. And, it's a good measurement for legit projects when they're willing to go on camera. And, end of the day, you can always find a community member that would be willing to go on. So it shouldn't be too difficult. But again, the main reason is like right now, Moon or Dust is in the entertainment business. And if, you need people on camera in order to entertain, especially for this type of adventure here. Like, so, I mean, Sean, give me your thoughts on it. Let's see what people, let's see what people think in the chat. Please let us know any thoughts. We're across X multiple places, YouTube multiple places, Twitch, Lunar Pump Fun. Any thoughts? Let us know. But what do you think, Sean? I mean,
the reality of it is that we're not going to have everyone on camera right now. We're still growing. Again, we only have so many projects that are trying to come on. So, right now, it may not be a reality that everyone gets on camera, but yes, like Mr. Pixel said, we are an entertainment show. It increases the entertainment value, as you said, exponentially when people are on cameras, and you can see their reaction. Like, how much better would the initial episode of Eddie winning $820 been if we could have saw his face? Now, we could actually hear the excitement in his voice, but how much better would it have been if we could have seen his face and how excited he got when it would have made the clips so much better. And again, crypto is starting to become mainstream at this point. I just actually released a podcast episode on Crypto Over Red Bull talking about that new crypto market structure bill that hopefully will be signed into law probably next year. And it's just getting more and more adoptive. And as long as you're not doing anything you shouldn't be doing, you shouldn't have a problem putting your face on camera. We run huge projects. We do all kinds of stuff. I got no issue putting my face on camera. Like I said, we do nothing wrong. I always tell people, if they think we are, you're welcome to come on the episode and talk about it, because we don't. And again, I feel the same way about everyone else. If you're not doing anything wrong, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I have kids as well. I have really young kids, but I'm not really concerned about my safety, because again, I understand there are quote unquote crazy people out there, but again, we're not doing anything that we shouldn't be doing.
And I think it's getting less and less taboo now as well. And I think, to be honest, like right now, I think people kind of use it as a kind of a crutch in order to be like, oh yeah, I'm protecting myself. But in actual fact, you're a shady, motherfucker that is just using that as a kind of a cudgel to, allow you to continue doing some shady shit, for the most part.
Yep.
So, but I think most people that I've seen in the space, especially most of the newcomers, like when you're bringing people on over, live streaming is a thing. If you're looking at live streaming be the new meta, or, that degree, then most people, new people that are joining crypto, they have no problem with going on camera. Like it's not a big deal for them to do things like that. In most newcomers these days, they just try to treat it the same as they do, Web 2 environment, right? They're not bent up about it. So, that taboo is wearing off, and the more it does, the more, shady people look when they're not willing to kind of, in any way, shape or form be visible or anything like that. And I get it. Some people do it for whatever reasons, understandable. But you got to understand the business that we're in, what Moon and Dust is. It just doesn't work for it. Like, you can't make a clip from it. The clips don't work. I've tried it. Trust me. They just do not have the same impact. People need to see live reactions. Like, that's the thing. Yes. And yes, Infineon Jim. It ensures base projects are on the show. Yes.
Yep. And we, trust me, guys, we will reach a point to where we 100% set the terms. You want to come on, you do this, this, and this, or you don't come on. Plain and simple. And we're getting there. Like, interest is growing every single day. So yeah. Also, people like community members like Titans over here in other chats, getting people to realize who we are. Had someone messaging for me. It looks like they may be coming on next week potentially. And yeah, we're just growing exponentially. The views are there. So those views should start translating to the excitement growing up, because remember, we got to keep shoving this in people's faces, especially crypto's probably even more. So I think in real life marketing, 8 to 10 times for someone to see something. Honestly, in crypto, it's probably a little bit more than that. Crypto, no one pays attention to anything in crypto. Everyone assumes everything's a scam. If they're not in it in the very beginning, or it's not someone they know, they're not interested. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing, and people are just going to get to a point where it can't be ignored anymore. And if there's one thing that we're not, it's consistent. So we're definitely consistent, and we're just going to keep pushing until, again, someone sees us for that 8th time, that 15th time, and they just can't ignore it anymore. Because one thing I can say is, once you actually research into us, there's no way that you can't get excited about what we're doing here.
Yeah, and the bot now is just such a beautiful way, and we're like, the way it lends to crypto, to the whole culture. You know what I mean? Which is exactly what it does. And what I was going to do is, this is one of the decks I'm working on. There's our boy Sean right there. But I kind of been overhauling, obviously, because things have changed now in the meantime. And with the bot and this and that, and it's still a work in progress. But it's going to talk all about basically the shows. So this specific deck is going to be, it's going to replace the how it works, and it's going to show exactly how the games themselves work. There'll be a separate deck then that will talk about the actual Monday to Friday trending show, what that is, how it works, how you can get involved, etc. Again, through the bot, right? So if you're in the top 5 on that trending bot, we'll talk about your token. We'll dive into your token on whatever day you are top 5. So it will be on Mondays, of course. The trending show will be at noon regular time. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday it'll be right after the main Moon or Dust shows, and then Friday it'll be noon as well. So Moon or Dust
Yep,
always starts
noon PST.
noon. Yeah, sorry, yes.
Yeah, so
Thanks for
everyone's
that.
aware.
Thanks for that clarification. Noon PST. Yeah, that's 3 Eastern, I believe, right now. But yeah, so this is basically going to outline exactly how the show works. Every Wednesday, the headline event unfolds live across Lunar Pump, YouTube, X, and Twitch. Contestants represent their crypto projects in a high stakes showdown featuring 26 mysterious wallets displayed on the board. 26
Man,
wallets.
AI DeFi Sean is having a good time.
Bro, he's having a blast, dude. That's what you gotta get. You gotta follow his lead, bro.
I know, right?
Then you have your top prize. One wallet holds the ultimate reward, the Moon Wallet. And then your mission: walk away with the fattest bag you can for your community. That is the goal. Primetime episode, $1,000 top wallet. How the game plays: the flow of fortune. Spin the wheel of whales, determine which AI whale makes offers, or hit the tripod for all three. See the wheel right there. Choose your wallet. Select your chosen wallet from the 26 on the board. Part 3, open and eliminate. Reveal 6 wallets to start. Each opened wallet leaves the game and then face the offers. So that's the flow, basic flow of the game for anybody that's picking it up. The whales. This is our awesome edition, which is the AI whales into the arena. Magnus, Dominic, Rico, 3 unique personalities, infinite ways to play you. Only one goal: to buy your bag before it moons. You got Magnus, cold, strategic, and unflinching. Magnus calculates every angle with ruthless precision, offering safety over speculation. Dominic, sharp, relentless, and calculated. Dominic plays the numbers like a master trader, always seeking maximum leverage. And Rico, unpredictable, impulsive, and dangerously generous. Rico lives for chaos and could change your game in an instant. So each whale analyzes the live board using advanced AI logic, then calls in with their offer. No scripts, no retakes, pure calculated risk. I love it. So the AI logic meets human instinct. The whales decide. Using decision logic trained on probabilities and wallet distributions, the whales make their calculated offers based on what remains on the board. Their intelligence adapts in real time, analyzing risk, reading patterns, and pressuring you to make the ultimate call. Moon it, accept the offer, and walk away with guaranteed crypto. Dust it, refuse, and play on, where the stakes get higher. Each round escalates until only 2 wallets remain: your chosen wallet and 1 mystery wallet. Swap or hodl, baby? That is the question you get asked right at the end. You get the option when you're left with 2. Trade your chosen wallet for the mystery wallet. Trust the odds or trust your gut. Hodl, stick with your original choice, and diamond hand it all the way. Time to find out if you were right. So the final reveal decides your fate: Moon or Dust, glory or heartbreak. There's no middle ground. And then these are the 3 games. It's going to break them down nice and easy here for everybody. 3 editions, 1 universe. Audience edition. Tuesday, 2 12 wallet games, $100 top wallet in each of those games. Contestant 1 is drawn from the trending bot, top voters, 5+ votes in the week. Contestant 2 selected live from the chat during the stream. 2 games per show, community powered chaos. Yeah, baby. That's the one every Tuesday. Primetime edition. This is the big dog. Wednesdays, 26 wallet game, $1,000 top wallet. And again, as we grow, these numbers and these prizes are going to go up as much as we can. Ultimate goal here is Lambo wallet. Everybody, don't forget that. So this is the flagship event on Wednesdays, the main stage. This is where projects battle for glory under the brightest lights in crypto entertainment. High intensity, high stakes. Then the microcap edition on Thursdays. Same kind of game style, 26 wallet game, only the top wallet's $250 this time. Built for emerging projects, proving their momentum and looking for that extra early exposure. Ooh, typo there. Okay, got to fix that. Smaller stakes, same bright lights, pure opportunity. That's the money. Oh. Okay, and this is all powered by, of course, the awesome lunarpump.fun. Which kind of spawned this. It's kind of like a marketing tool designed to bring people to Lunar Pump Fun, and of course, we utilize the features on Lunar Pump Fun as well. The live rewards, live streamer tipping in real time, wallet to wallet, direct, live in the chat. It's an awesome feature. And this is just breaking down the audience participation around here. You're not just watching. Twice per show, the audience becomes the player. A live crypto trivia question flashes on screen. So you can see fake AI Sean talking over here in real time. First verified wallet in Lunar Pump chat to answer correctly wins instant crypto sent directly on chain while the show is live. This is how it works. Trivia question appears on the stream. Type your answer in the chat. Lunar Pump chat. First correct verified wallet wins. Crypto sent instantly on chain. And that happens in real time. Pops up in the chat. Pops up on screen on the Lunar Pump side. So yeah, so that is as far as I've gotten right now. I got like 2 or 3 more pages to add to this, and then that will break it down, and it'll break down how you actually participate in these that I had mentioned a little earlier. But yeah, on lunarpump.fun. Here's the chat right here. And when these games are live, you can come on over here, set up your wallet. Good idea. Set up a fresh new wallet for it and call it your Lunar Pump wallet. Connect. Go in there and set up your profile and get ready. Be live in chat, and you can win, $10 a Solana, $5 a Solana, $2 a Solana, whatever, just by answering questions in there. Sometimes rewards can just go out for no reason whatsoever, as if you're in there. So you never know. It's definitely worth a shot. But yeah, so this is basically how the game kind of works. And we might as well show a clip from the week as we're here, if there's any newbies watching today. Who do we have here? We had our TechBots boys, I guess, right? And yeah, let's watch our TechBots clip here. And shout out to the guys. This was
Brett did a good job.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, check this out. We just kind of walked through the game roughly, but this is one of the clips. Again, look how great it is that he's on camera. Makes all the difference.
So let's go ahead and see what Rico is going to offer this time around.
All right, Brett, with big prizes and the thrill of TechBot at stake, seize the momentum now with my offer, which is $121.
All right, he's offering you $121 to buy your case, almost half of the top prize, but you still have the $250 and the $200. And we're going to be moving on, picking one wallet. Of course, Brett, are we going to moon or dust?
I can't take half. There's still a good chance there for 250 or 200. So dust it. Let's go.
All right. Brett's dusting it. He's going for that 250.
Wow, rejecting 121 this late? You're doubling down on TechBot's luck. What a bold move.
All right, Brett, let's go. We have one more wallet to pick. What's it going to be?
Okay. Let's go 4.
Wallet 4. Are you hiding $40 behind you? All right, wallet 4.
$40.
Let's go. Let's see. $40 wallet 4. There we go. All right. So we're getting down to our final 2 wallets, and we're going to get a final call. So Brett, this is going to be the final offer Rico is going to make you. After this, you're going to be left with the 250 to 200. Rico, what are you offering?
All right, Brett, seize this moment with conviction. My reading says take the sure win over the big volatility on the board with my offer of $216.
All right, Brett. Your wallet is either holding 200 or 250, and Rico's offering you 216 to buy it from you right now. Pretty solid offer. Do you want to risk that $16, or are we going to moon or dust?
Nah, let's moon it. That'll do. I'm happy with that. It's
there
right
we
in
go.
the middle of the 2.
Rico, you're taking that offer.
Boom.
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example of why we want people on camera. He was doing the fist pumping, getting excited, and that, without the camera on, we wouldn't be able to see that excitement, and the clip wouldn't have been as good. And so, yeah, really cool to see that. Oh, Mr. B, you are muted? You are muted. Yes, not your mic.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, I agree, man. That's the entertainment value people thrive on, like watching it. That's what makes it fun to watch, to see how people react and how they handle the pressure and this and that. Whereas if you don't see that, any of that, it literally falls off a cliff, the entertainment value. So I know everybody watching definitely understands that. And they also understand that, in crypto, it can be tough, but again, it's getting easier. I think more and more people will get, a little more comfortable with the crypto space. And that's, like I said, that's what mass adoption is going to ultimately be, is when things like this can happen and people aren't scared to go on camera, people have no problems with going on camera. Like, that's the way the world is right now in social media. So It shouldn't be any different for crypto, ultimately. And that
Yep.
is what mass adoption is going to look like. So,
Yep.
but yeah, so been cranking away, getting these decks ramped out, looking at pushing this bot all week. We have anything in the chat, Sean?
Yeah, I was looking. I know I saw earlier Titan was asking about how the fees are going to work. So the way the fees are set up is it's going to come back to us. There's never going to be anything in writing about what goes where. What we are going to be using those, and let me get to why. So what we are going to be using those fees for is we are going to start building a treasury. Remember, like everything we do,
What fees are we talking about? No, Sean.
all about the fees from the Mooner Dust trending,
Mooner Dust.
the ads
Mooner
for
Dust
like the
trending.
Mooner
Got
Dust trending, for the Mooner Dust ads. We're just like everyone else. We bought a bag in the beginning. There is no treasury per se. We're going to start buying tokens with revenue. We're going to start creating the treasury. We're going to use that to get CoinGecko and CMC. And again, it's not like I'm shilling my podcast. I'm not. But on Crypto Over Red Bull, I just went over the market structure bill and guaranteeing revenue. That's a good way to get yourself classified as a security when this stuff passes. So that's why I'm making it very clear that the Mooner Dust game show and the Mooner Dust token are two separate entities. The token is completely decentralized. We have zero control over the LP. We have zero control over the contract. And then the game is completely separated with that. And then the revenue generated within the game, we are going to be using to, again, buy up, start creating a treasury if we get to the point, hopefully, which I think we will, and we start, needing centralized exchange listings and different things like that. We'll have it all built up. But that's why we got to start really preparing for regulation, because I do think regulation is coming sooner than you think. And we need to be prepared now so that, this thing isn't considered a security when that stuff comes down. That's why, the days of putting in there that 20% of the revenue, even potentially with Infineon, of specifically saying 20% of the revenue is coming back to the project and all that different stuff, that's going to get you more than likely classified as a security. Anytime you guarantee people that are involved with revenue, that's going to be something that, again, they're going to want to class you as security, and you're going to fall under that SEC. Technically, I guess you need licenses and all that for that stuff. So that's why I want this to be two separate entities. And but with that revenue, we're telling you what we're doing with it. It's just, technically ours to decide what to do with.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, and again, like we were just talking about mass adoption, this is part of it, whether we like it or not.
Yep.
So being prepared for it in every facet is very, very important, of course. So I mean, what does that mean?
One last thing, though, it is in our best interest. We're holders just like you. So trust me, we want this thing going to 10 million, 20 million, 30 million. So buying up tokens, creating that treasury, getting us on CMC, getting us on CoinGecko, we are motivated to do that. So that stuff will get done.
Yep. But what I was going to say was, what does that mean for, I mean, take for example Infineon itself, right? Which is kind of the whole. I know the underlying elements of the blockchain just have that built in innately. That's a whole other kettle of fish, I guess, how you'd classify that. But what does that mean for things like staking, things like whatever else stuff coming back into the ecosystem, quote unquote, like. Where's the line going to get drawn here? How do you, I mean, obviously, it's speculative right now, and it's hard to kind of nail something like that down, but in your own opinion.
Yeah, I mean, so Infineon, like most tokens, are already in existence. So, we're going to have to alter immediately once we kind of see what that looks like. There's a good thing, like I said, preparing now, because Mooner Dust is new. So we need to make sure that we're just prepared for it. There will be no changing. There will be no anything. We're already prepared for it. Infineon, like most tokens, are going to be different. We're going to have to restructure things, definitely reword things to make sure that we're safe and we're operating as a commodity, not as a security, which is obviously what you want to be. And see, NFTs, that might even be a whole. Someone's asking about the bid income. That might even be a different thing. So an NFT isn't tradable per se. So I'm not sure if NFTs would fall like a token would fall.
Oh, you mean it's not tradable?
It's not in the sense that there's an LP attached. People are buying, people are selling.
Okay. Right,
so I'm not sure. I don't know. Does anyone have an opinion or heard anything? I haven't done.
I have not.
any research right now is hypothetical because we don't know exactly what they're going to say. But I think NFTs, me personally, I would consider, and ultimately it doesn't matter what I think, matters what the legislation says. But I think NFTs will be treated differently than a token. And I guess it should be. Like I said, it's not openly traded. Like there's no LP, there's no nothing. So I don't know. That's what we got to wait and see. But trust me, I mean, I monitor it regularly. Like I said, I just did a podcast on it. I've went over everything that I've seen and I know so far, and we'll continue to monitor it to make sure that we're in legal compliance. Even the lawyers that I do know and I do have, they don't even know. Like no one knows. They can guide you the best they can, because right now it's just wild. Like all the people that have gotten in trouble, you know, your bigger companies that have done things and have gotten in trouble and been considered securities, it's almost like unethical or just out of bounds, because there's no, like, it's like there's no legislation saying exactly what's legal and what's not. So it's like right now they're just kind of like making up the rules as they go. Like same thing with XRP, you know, there is nothing clearly stating which you should do. So they're basically almost like picking and choosing who's gonna get in trouble for what. So yeah, it just, the market needs that regulation.
Yeah, and I would say it's coming probably sooner than we think. But the thing is, I mean, and we always say that, but you know, it's so hard to know.
I mean, I know even in spite of the government shutdown, the U.S. Government has been working on the crypto. But even something that the lawyers that we have told me is that even trying to go offshores with the LLC or doing stuff like that, you still got to watch it, because at the end of the day, you are still a U.S. citizen, even if you do try to write it out. So that was one of the things that they told me, is that you can't necessarily just do everything that the U.S. government says you can't do because you went offshore. You know, you are at the end of the day a U.S. citizen. So I don't know. It's just all up in the air. But that's why I'm trying to make sure that Moon or Dust, because I genuinely think this is a $100 million idea, maybe more, with Moon or Dust. So I want to make sure that there's nothing lagging with it. We're compliant. We're a commodity from day one, and we continue moving forward when that regulation does hit.
Yeah, we just got to roll with it. And again, like, thankfully Sean does his weekly podcast, and he keeps his finger on the pulse there when it comes to all that stuff. So,
but yeah, it's a cool episode, like everything I went over. So definitely check it out. It's probably just hitting, if it even hit yet. I just uploaded it before we went up. Sometimes it hits fast, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, it's interesting to see exactly what they're going to do. Bitcoin's a commodity. There's no doubt. It has no oversight. Bitcoin's a commodity, so no one has to worry about that. And yeah, Bitcoin, because of that's gonna, when there's clear regulation, I think Bitcoin is gonna get billions to trillions of dollars flowing through it, which is awesome. And
where is it sitting at right now?
Staying above, let's see, it's staying above 100. I know that. At least I think it was at 104 last time I looked. Let's see where it's at. I know where Bitcoin at 106. So again, all that doomsday that we had last week is dropping below 100. Like, man, everyone just needs to zoom out and relax. Like,
dude, it's all clickbait bullshit. That's all it is. People just put up those fucking headlines to draw people in, get the emotions flowing. The algo loves it too. It pumps that, loves that shit. So that's what happens. And then everybody gets hopped up, and that's great.
Yeah. And as Sigma's saying, yes, with that treasury, we want to do increased prizes 100%. That has been on our mind since day one. That is definitely a big deal to us. The bigger and better we can make these prizes, the more and more mainstream adoption Moon or Dust is going to get.
Yeah, this the kind of what I want to do as soon as possible, really. Like as soon as we can do it, I think like we want to up the audience one to like 200. And then we want to up, I think, the micro cap to 5. And then, we could move the 2,000 or 3,000 then for the main one. Once we get there, once we get the revenue coming in, like that will furnish these prizes. So like the more advertising we get, the more people use the bot, if they boost, whatever it is, once it all kind of kicks off and starts churning over, we get them solid revenue streams coming in. Then, like Sean said, we're ready to start, creating a treasury of, the token itself. which is right here. And we'll be building that up, like Sean said, getting it on the necessary listings that it needs. But obviously it's a separate entity, but that's something that we're going to do inside of part of like the actual Moon or Dust game show itself, is build a Moon or Dust token treasury in-house that's going to be utilized to facilitate whatever it is that we needed to facilitate. But yes, certainly buying it up and, you know, strengthening it up is something that we do want to do moving forward. So yeah, and again, you know, having those prizes skyrocket, that's where you're really talking about getting big numbers at that point. If people are like, hey, there's a show over here, even doing a $3,000 top wallet. Imagine that, just $3,000. That's a lot. You do a lot with that. You know what I mean? You talk about $5,000, man. That's what like coin market cap charge. Is that right, Sean? Or people charge to get you listed on there, things like that. 5K.
Yeah, yes, 5K roughly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so you know it's going to be big once we get those big numbers on there. We get more viewers, and again, it all just complements each other. So yeah, once those start to ramp up, it's going to be exciting, dude. It's going to be pretty good. Here's the chart, Sean. How are you looking at the chart? We got to get ready for our Moon or Dust trending show next week. Let's give your analysis here. What do you think?
Yeah. Chart looks good. Yeah, overall everything looks good. Let's see, I can't really zoom in. But yeah, I mean, again, that's about as pretty of a chart in DeFi as you're going to get. You know, we had that really good pump and we had that little dip. But yeah, since then it's just been consolidating kind of up and down, which is kind of what we want before we hopefully start that upwards trend. And you know, but when it comes to Moon or Dust too, people will probably say, what makes us different? First off, you can have multiple trending bots in your Telegram. So let me start with that. But what makes us different than anyone else? And we are offering more exposure than anyone else. When it comes to YouTube in particular, X2, but when it comes to YouTube, even your smallest of YouTubers are going to charge you like $500 to make a video. It's almost for like a lot of people are launching microcap tokens. That's what a lot of people do. Getting on YouTube is almost unattainable at this point for them. Unless you actually have some funding, pre-sale, different things, you're not getting on YouTube. So we're offering like major trending. They're awesome. They have a big crowd, but they just hang out in that little sandbox of Telegram every day. You know, we're bringing this out to the mainstream through YouTube, through X, through Twitch, and you're going to get mainstream exposure. So that's the main thing that we're offering that no one else is offering. A project with a $50,000 market cap can pay 0.1 to boost or 0.5 SOL to get their token in the top 5. And just with that 0.5 for a fraction of the price of what it would cost to get on YouTube via anyone else, you're going to be able to have your project displayed on YouTube. And our viewership is proven to be really well. So it's just a little something differently. And whenever you have another project that you're a part of, or you're pitching, adding the Moon or Dust training bot to their project, that's the main selling point that you need to get them sold on, is that with this trending bot, you're going to actually start getting out there. You're not just going to sit in the little sandbox of Telegram. You're actually going to get exposure and talked about and in real time on YouTube and on X to thousands of views.
Yes, sir. And that is something that I wanted to just lean into here as well. You know, since we're talking about the revenue streams and all for it, there is going to be plenty sponsorship opportunities for people. You know, once we and I'll show you the numbers, some of the latest numbers here as well, so you can get an idea of what we're actually talking about here. Again, this is totally organic. There's been no massive marketing pushes, nothing. We brought the community along with us since we concepted this thing through the entire build. We've had people coming up in the early days. If anybody wants to go back, you know, to maybe 5 weeks ago, you'll see us playing some really rough games and some really rough ass whales out there, making some crazy offers, but it was good fun. So it's all 100% organic, and we're laying out the business model. We're showing people the idea of how this is going to work, how it ties into everything else, and you know the way that it is structured. So this is one of the the revenue streams for it is the ability to sponsor the show itself, and we have different segments within the show that allow for that. And if you've watched any, you'll be familiar with. But here's the 3 weeks of data so far. As you can see, week on week here, our first week, the pilot grow, we were at around 20K reach. Second week, early growth, we're at 27,000 plus reach and early 28,000 reach. And then this most recent week that we just got, the momentum phase, we're at 35 plus K reach across all platforms. So that's awesome, right? Those are great numbers, very positive to see, excited to see next week's. This is, like I said, just 3 weeks of data so far. The most recent week is only, a week old, obviously. So it's 250 to 350 live viewers per show, 8 to 12,000 total views per episode, 35,000 plus unique reach across all platforms, and 100K plus combined followers across all the channels. And then you have the social clips. So that's on X and YouTube Shorts. And again, this is why being on camera is so much more beneficial, especially for these clips. In my opinion, it's pointless doing them without it. But 9.3K total impressions and views. That's 48% week on week, 45% average engagement, 9 X.com clips and 4.9K impressions, 3 YouTube Shorts, 3.4K views. So we're just rolling these out. Obviously, these are the vertical clips that we got to create kind of separately. But I have seen now that StreamYard has just brought in a vertical option, so we could even live stream vertical. I do need to do a little bit of playing around with the different scenes and stuff and figure out how that'll work. But that's another awesome thing. It might make it easier for us to make those clips on the back end, I hope. But yeah, so that there. How do you like those numbers, Sean? They're looking pretty good, huh? Pretty positive. Let us know your thoughts, guys.
Numbers are looking great. I mean, obviously, we are going to dip at a certain point. Week 2 numbers were so good that honestly, I was expecting there to potentially be a dip in week 3. There obviously wasn't. So yeah, great news. I mean, yeah, awesome. Couldn't be more thrilled. Now, again, we kind of have a head start. We are using channels that are well established. Mine in particular, with the length, the monetization, the amount of videos, the amount of views. So we got a little bit of a head start. This wasn't particularly or necessarily started from scratch. But with that being said, it doesn't matter. The views are there regardless of if it was starting from scratch or not. Awesome news. Like I said, hopefully I'm going to go into it expecting a dip in week 4. If there is, not a problem. It will eventually happen. But yeah, hopefully we'll have the same surprise in week 4.
Yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it rocking. And of course, it's always going to fluctuate a little bit depending on, the project that's in there, how big the community is. There's a lot of variations, but we're eventually going to find a kind of a happy medium. We're going to level out here, find a threshold that we're going to be able to build on. But the constant growth, the constant pushing of it and stuff like that's going to make a big difference too, week on week. So we're going to keep going with that. Here's the weekly lineup. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've spoken about that many times. This is mainly about the sponsorship opportunities. Now, there's going to be some additions to this. So the main sponsor itself, that would be the opportunity for someone to sponsor an entire show, basically. So you'd come in at the start and you would come in at the end also. You'd have a graphic, and I'll show you how all that works. So, okay. Get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show, custom graphic banner, ticker banner, as we've seen, large web address banner, links in YouTube description, tagged in the X posts, and also, because we will be doing the Moon or Dust trending show, you'll also, like, if you sponsor us throughout the week, you would get shout outs on those shows too. But that's one of the things that I do need to add. A round sponsor, as we've said, is, basically those audience participation rounds. Anybody can sponsor those individually. You get a shout out at the beginning of the audience participation round. The ticker banner pops up with the call to action and the large web address banner. And then, of course, at the end of every show, it's coming soon. It's in the process of being built. And those wheels as well for the bot are in the process of being built. But there will be a wheel sponsor at the end, which will be everybody that is in the live chat on Lunar Pump will be fed into the wheel, and there'll be a cash, or not a cash, but I guess a crypto prize sent out to whoever it lands on. And again, that can be sponsored, will be able to be sponsored. I'll give you a shout out at the beginning of it. You'll get the ticker banner, the CTA, the large web address banner, and the logo on the wheel itself. And then there will also be a total takeover option where complete brand immersion experience, all the slots for a total brand domination. And then you also get your logo on the video thumbnail, and you'll get your logo on all the clips from that show. So that is that. And this just basically shows you. So if anybody does want to advertise, you can go to the website. I'll show you how to get to it in a moment. But this is the document you would be confronted with that shows you exactly where the advertisement slots are. Gives you an idea of the reach that we have. So you know what you're actually paying for. And you got the large web address banner as you've seen here. And then you also have the one down the bottom there that you can see pops up and gets your message across clearly. So that's just give you an idea of what that is. And then here are the additional ones. So then that shows you there. This is the round sponsor over here. When he asked the audience participation round question. And then you have the additional promo graphic. So this is if you were a main sponsor, this would be the promo graphic would pop up at the beginning and the end of the show. Sean give you a shout out. You get those two banners there too, the ticker at the bottom. And then also if you do the total takeover, you know, you get that where that lunar pump logo is right there. It would actually be your logo on the thumbnail of the video itself. Yes, so that is that. And then reach beyond, expanding your audience through multi-platform engagement, content sharing. Moonerdust leverages multi-platform streaming to maximize exposure, ensuring our content reaches viewers across various channels. With strategic social media mentions and the repurposing of highlight clips, we create engaging content that resonates with our audience and amplifies sponsor visibility across the crypto community. So that is the idea behind all of this. A good reason, obviously, as we grow more and more numbers, as you can see, that's why we have the numbers in there. It's a live document that we update so people can always be well informed about the reach that we have, so they know exactly what they're paying for, what the reach is. And of course, you know, if you do want to do that, you can just go straight to the Moonerdust site here, and if you click next steps, you can go advertise with us. And once you click that, it will eventually, once the next push comes, it'll pop up that document you just saw. And then there'll be an option at the end of that where it'll get you in contact with the man himself, the host with the most, Sean here, in a direct DM with him on Telegram. And, you know, you can go through it, go through pricing and all that stuff and potentially advertise with us. And yeah, that's the other, basically the big advertising option, of course, like Sean laid out earlier on about the bot itself for people that want to participate in the show. You know, getting in there and getting that voting going is going to be a big thing. And that's the other revenue generator as well, is basically the boost options in there and, you know, things like that. So, you know, this is the revenue model. Just wanted to kind of break it down for everybody so that they can see, you know, what it is. If there's anybody new joining in, once thinking about getting on board, considering picking up a bag, whatever it is you want to do, however you want to participate, considering trying to get your project on the show, whatever it is, just so you understand exactly, you know, what the opportunity is, what the business model is here, and how it all works. So I think we kind of covered a good spade of it there, Sean, of how this all kind of is playing out and working at the moment. Obviously, you know, there's a few things need to fall into place here. We got this coming week now, but this could be the, like, we're aiming for next week to be starting the Moonerdust trending shows. Obviously, you know, it's going to be dictated by having people using the bot. But as soon as we can start, you know, we will get going with that. So if anybody is watching here and you do want to come on Moonerdust, obviously, even between now, like, we're looking to get maybe at least 30 projects on there before we start tapping in, getting over the 100. But hey, anybody goes in there right now, their community gets over 100, 200, expect us to be reaching out and asking you guys if you want to come on. So we'll definitely reach out if that happens right now. So the only way you can do that, get your bot installed. If you have a community member you think that would like to come on the show, we're pushing really hard right now for people to be on camera. So be mindful of that. Preferably, we want you on camera, especially for prime time. But again, you know, just get on the bot, get the bot installed. It's going to be, we're monitoring it. We're watching all the projects that are on there. So if you are on there and you do have the bot installed, your community's pumping away, we may just even reach out anyway for whatever right now until we start really building it up. So getting in early like this is a good opportunity for people, I think, as well. Like getting the bot in early now, you might have a stronger chance of actually getting on the show in the early stages if that's something that you're after. So get the bot installed, everybody. We're going to be pushing it here. I think we're going to kind of drop it soon. It'll be added to the website here soon. Maybe, Adam, you can let us know how we're looking on that. Or do you have any updates, Sean, on when we're actually saying, yes, the bot is live, install it?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much at that point. Probably today it's starting to get late my time, but tomorrow at the latest, we'll start sending out to groups. As far as I see people asking how long it'll take, I mean, that all depends. These trending bots can be extremely lucrative. I've seen people make 86K in 60 days. Like, and that's a real number. I'm not going to name what bot it was and different things like that. So I mean, I've seen crazy stuff happen with these bots. So it kind of depends on our growth. I'm gonna start. I'll even kind of make a post, kind of explaining what it does to different groups, because everyone in mod, everyone in Infineon, everyone listening, you guys all have different projects that you're in. Especially for the small ones, the earlier you get it downloaded, kind of like Mr. Pixel insinuated, the earlier you get it downloaded, the earlier you get votes, the less competition you're going to have next week and the week after to actually be on the show without necessarily having to fight hundreds of other potential projects, and maybe without even having to pay. Because obviously, as it gets more competitive, people are going to want to pay that 1.2x or 1.5x multiplier to be able to get their tokens at the top and different things like that. So it's all depends how fast we can grow it. Obviously, everyone in here, you passing it along to different project owners and different groups that you're in, will be a huge help getting as many people as possible using the bot, so that we start to get exposure. And eventually, again, maybe not eventually, potentially even this week, we'll start producing revenue. People will be fighting to get into that leaderboard. As you can see right here, we're going to be foreshadowing with mod right here above Pepe and Dogecoin right there. It is coming. Again, there's no reason why I feel like this shouldn't be the biggest meme token in existence. Like, there's just no reason. It's one of one. No one else is doing it. It's friggin' awesome. It has no competition. Like, this should be the hottest thing in crypto right now. It's just a matter of getting it out there.
It will be.
I think it will be too.
But yeah, I mean, can we pop up the leaderboard there, Sean, as well? Just have a little peek at it, just to show people what we're looking at here. But yeah, so anybody that's watching this, you do have a project out there that you're involved in. You know, once we drop this tomorrow, bring it to them. Like, it's totally free. All they got to do is vote. There's many opportunities to, like I said, not just get on the show itself and potentially win $1,000 or $250 or even the audience edition, but even getting on that top. We got 7 projects on there right now. That's awesome. Getting into that top 5, and the things with the shows, they're going to be super free flowing. The trending shows, like, they could go on for an hour, they could go on for 2 hours. We don't know.
We'll just be talking, hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. And even if people are just
in the chat.
Yeah, and even if people are just in the chat, right? If you're not on the trending, but you're in the chat and you got loads of audience members pushing it hard, like, we'll bring it up. It's not the end of the world if people are interacting in the chat. We're open to that too. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, you're going to get that exposure too right after the main event shows during the week. So, on top of that, this is going to go on 5 days a week, the trending show, and then the main event. Through the bot, you can actually get selected to play on that, totally free. So yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Might as well put it in there. What do you got to lose? Getting it in there early. If you're getting some good audience votes on other trending bots, it's certainly worth your while to come on again, because you get the exposure. You might get that extra little bit of revenue generated into the project, which can be used for whatever you like. And everyone walks away happy. It's a great event. Like Sean was always saying, we want this to be like an event in crypto, and going live those 3 days a week for the main show, and then having those 5-day trending shows. It's going to be hectic, but it's I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it is going to turn it into, like what you were saying, Sean, it's going to become quite an event doing that. And then, like, we want the prime time to be like the cream of the crop there. So, and of course, the higher we can get those prize money, the better it's going to get. The better it's going. So, like I said, get the bot in. What do you got to lose? What are we at? Who we got? Major Business down there. Fire Chicken coming in 6th. Wu Dang 5th. What the 4 at 4th. Teg, shout out to the Teg boys at 3. Mooner Dust at 2, and Infineon at number 1. But hey, Mooner Dust, you can't come on here, guys. We're trying to bring in new communities, not our own communities. Silly geese.
And yeah, everyone who's doing a great job, obviously don't shill Mooner Dust, but
the
getting
token,
to the Telegram, the token.
Yes.
Getting there when we're about to go live with the Telegram show, let them know, hey, Tag, you're going to be talked about on YouTube right now. With the 4, you're going to be talked on YouTube. Wudang, you're about to be talked on YouTube. Get the community members over. Let them know. That'll create excitement. That'll get people buying multipliers and top spots and all that stuff. Because, like I said, for these projects, look at the market caps. Let's come down here. We got 190, we got 129, 69, 52. A lot of these, again, it's not feasible for them to be on YouTube and stuff like that. It's way too expensive. They don't have the funding to be able to do so. And Lunar Dust is giving you the opportunity to be on YouTube.
Totally free. Totally free. Isn't that amazing?
Yep.
That's
why. I mean, of course,
that's why nobody
you can
believes
do.
it.
Yeah, I mean, you can do as far as the trending buy goes, obviously you can do the multiplier and pay your way on there, which again, even if you pay your way on there for the leaderboard, it's still to beat the top spot, one soul. So less than $200. Boom. You're being covered on YouTube. A fraction of what YouTubers charge.
And also, by the way, if I believe this is something we're looking at the moment, I do see. So that'll basically put you at number 1. Is that correct? If you pay for the top trending.
So if you want to be number 1,
leaderboard,
number one will be 1 soul per day. Top 3 will be 0.75, and then top 5, which is what you need to be covered on the show, would be 0.5 soul per day. So again, for less than $100, you can be covered on YouTube. And actually, to actual real viewers, this isn't a botted Telegram. What you're seeing is real. So obviously, chat's always popping off and stuff like this. It'll get even crazier when we have those 5 communities that are in the top coming and talking and shilling their communities and stuff like that.
Yeah, and something that we were talking about. Now, obviously, we need to look at the numbers here, but it would potentially be possible if you do pay for, let's say, the top spot, but it might be, if you pay for it 5 days in a row or so. I don't know. We got to figure it out, but it would get you a slot on the primetime wheel. So if you paid top 1 there, as you can see, 1 Solana per day. So if you paid that in the week or whatever the number would be, it would get you a section on the wheel, the primetime wheel spin also. And then obviously the top 3, that would get you on the microcap.
Yep. And again, Lunar Dust is built for a trading buy. Literally, it's built for it. It fits so perfectly into our business model of what we're doing for Lunar Dust. So, and again, I do think the ads are going to kick off. It's just a little, like I said, it's a little bit different. People are used to token reviews. No one in the space is buying ads for a game show. So it's just a matter of just growing.
We're early.
We're not just early. We're the trailblazers, in my opinion, of what's hopefully about to come. And so I have no doubt the ads will kick off. But the trending bot, until we can get to that point, was, I think, something that can be immediate. Again, I've seen crazy numbers put up by trending bots as far as revenue coming in. People get crazy when it comes, because it's a good way to get exposure. It's a good, cheap way to get exposure for your project in other telegrams. Again, especially if you're not a project that has thousands of dollars to spend on marketing, trending bots are your next best option, hands down.
Yeah, no doubt. if you can add something very substantial to that. So like, just think about it. You come and use our trending bot, you're going to be able to have the opportunity to get on the live show, win potentially $1,000, get all that exposure on top of it, and potentially be on the live trending show 1 or 5 days a week, multiple days a week, getting that exposure on top of it. Is massive, and being in all the communities. So like, also when somebody makes a wheel, an announcement will go out, across all of our communities, all the places that have the bot installed, letting people know, X community or project just made it into the microcap wheel, right, for the week, or X community made it into the primetime wheel this week, right? So that's going to keep people hyped. So people are going to be pushing and promoting people to vote, get involved, and I think it's a great way. Like Sean just said, I mean, I can't put it any better. Trending bot suits what we're doing absolutely perfectly. And just to mention, not just to mention, but being able to tap into the exact audience that we're looking for in real time, which is a hard thing to do. Like Sean said, like, this is all organic. There's no botted accounts here. It's all, totally organic growth from now on. We still have a very modest Telegram chat. But again, in order for people to be able to vote on this bot, they need to be part of our Telegram chat. So that is a prerequisite in order to be able to vote. So that Telegram should be pumping, pretty hard, pretty soon. And, we're just going to keep rolling this thing, keep bringing people over, keep having more guests on. And like, the ultimate thing is, like I said last show, is that like the idea behind all of this stuff, Lunar Pump, Infineon, it was all to benefit the community, right? That was always the way, the whole underlying asset of Infineon, that it would like, ever appreciating massive community benefits to something like that with big adoption. Lunar Pump having the ICO feature in order to protect people during launches, give them that option to have those whitelisted ICOs and things like that. Protect the community when they launch. If you've got a strong community, you can go over there, totally tailor everything, set up your wallets, the wallet amounts, the duration of it, whitelist people. Like that was all designed to be able to benefit the community, right? For those that wanted it, for those that wanted that layer of protection. And Moon Dust is no different. The whole idea behind Moon Dust is like, let's make an AMA entertaining. Let's give the community a platform across places that they don't usually get a platform, across X, across YouTube, like whatever it is. We need to draw in the eyeballs, and then we can turn those eyeballs on to your community, onto your project, and we can do it in a very entertaining way. And like I said, adding the trending, we can do a little more deep dive into each project and throughout the week. That'll have its own viewership and stuff like that. But Moon Dust is the hook. Moon Dust is the angle. It's also the content machine that we're going to use to like bring the eyeballs to like all of these different communities. And ultimately the knock-on effect of that is, we're utilizing Lunar Pump and the ability to be able to tip people, reward people live in chat. The whole idea behind that is like, behind Moon Dust is to bring people over and show off that chat, show off Lunar Pump itself, the platform, so that people can, start to use it. Obviously, this is the token platform that we've all built and we've been working on for a long time. So, Moon Dust, anybody that is watching now, that's kind of was the idea. That's where Moon Dust came from, was we need something to kind of hook people in, get eyeballs on it, and utilize a feature within, Lunar Pump that can, complement it and be able to show people the power of what you could actually do by utilizing these features, show people, what was possible. So that's kind of the whole idea behind it. And the launcher here is looking beautiful. It's looking awesome. And we did realize that like live streaming Web3, it's not, I mean, it exists, but not how it should. I mean, clearly live streaming in Web3 should be like the path we're going down, where people's wallets are connected into the chat. People can, the streamer can be tipped in real time with the token that the person used, or whatever the project is, or Solana, and the actual audience can be rewarded in real time too, from the streamer directly with their token that they launched, or Solana also. And then the ability to highlight people in the chat, run games and competitions, and hey, let's have a look at the ad. Let's go check it out. And I can talk about it forever, but this ad kind of lays it out exactly, the features that we're utilizing with Moon Dust in order to show people the Lunar Pump platform and what's possible.
Imagine being able to tip your favorite live streamer with crypto, and every tip went straight into their wallet in real time. Now imagine they could also return the favor. Streamers can now highlight participants, run games and competitions, and reward their audience in real time, live in chat. Tip live, get rewarded instantly. Only on Lunar Pump. Visit lunarpump.fun. Live streaming has truly gone Web3.
So yeah, for anybody that's kind of just getting involved with all of this now, the rabbit hole goes deep. Let's say if you just come in on the Moon Dust side, follow along to see how deep the rabbit hole actually goes. But yeah, I mean, goes all the way to Infineon blockchain. So, but initially, Moon Dust is kind of the front door. We're bringing people in to bring eyes to the utility that is Lunar Pump, which is from Infineon basically. It is the flagship product. So this is what we're trying to do, bringing people on over to this amazing launcher here with all these different options on there, and we'll go through that as well on another day. And of course, when we're doing these streaming shows, the trending shows during the week, we'll talk about all these things, because ultimately we want people launching on here, not just because it's ours, but because it's awesome, right, Sean?
That would be correct. But yeah, guys, we'll let's start wrapping it up. We've been live for a while. Trending shows, again, it's going to be good value to get your token up here, because there's plenty of times where we'll run later like this. And be checking out all those projects. And again, for a fraction of a price, to be on YouTube, the trending bot will get you there. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for our show. Get to show off some good projects. Check out a whole bunch of new projects. Again, it just fits everything we're doing here. But yeah, if we don't have any questions, let's go ahead and start to shut it down. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow with Audience Edition. So everyone listening, get ready. You might be able to come up and play for $800. But yeah, Mr. Pixel, any final words you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, I mean, not really. You know, we're gonna have to cut back in the final words from now on because we're gonna be live so often. But no, it's good. It's good. It's always good to have a final word for sure. But hey, like Sean said, we got the Audience Edition start tomorrow. Keep showing us the support if you can. It's great. We appreciate it all from everybody in any way you can. Doesn't always have to be financial. Just get out there, share some clips, spread the word, get people to install the bot. Elevate communities. That's what we're trying to do. So yeah, if you want to get involved in the Audience Edition, get your account set up over on Lunar Pump there, guys. Select wallet up the top, connect it, as you can see right above us right here, and yeah, connect that up, set up your profile, and get ready in the chat. We'll see it. You can see it right here, Moon or Dust live. Let me just drop this down real quick before we do sign off, Sean. That's where it'll be. This will all be refreshed. That was last week's episode. So this is where it's going to be coming live, guys. Get in this chat here and get ready to receive some rewards. But yeah, that's what I got. Appreciate the support, everybody. We're going to see everybody again tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start drawing up some messages. I'll kind of get a template together for the chat to be able to start passing around to other projects they're in, showing off the value of it. But we are going to go ahead and end this episode, but we will be back tomorrow. So get ready. Everyone watching, 100 plus people watching, whatever that number is. You can
hold on. I need to say one more thing. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Yep.
Is this our final Moon Monday? Potentially?
I mean, we'll probably rename it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't know what it's going to be yet. But this may
it's going to be Moon
last...
or Dust trending, right?
Yeah. This is probably the last episode labeled Moon Monday. Yep.
Yes.
We'll be moving on to Moon or Dust trending. And yeah, guys, we'll be hanging out, answering any questions and doing all that. But tomorrow, remember, guys, show back up. All you got to do is be a part of that LunarPump.fun chat and come up to play against the Whales for a shot at $100. Now, I'm DeFi Sean. That's Mr. Pixel. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. And of course, until you see us then, you always know what to do. Trade safe.
Play Moon or Dust live and win big for your community or for yourself. Just don't dust. Tuesday, Audience Edition. Wednesday, Primetime. Thursday, Microcap. Think you can take on the Whales and walk away with a fat bag? Be our guest for free. Moon or Dust, the most bullish game show in crypto. Visit moon-or-dust.fun for details.